My last video was about loneliness. Nobody warns you about in your 30s. But describing loneliness doesn't actually help anybody through it. So today I want to talk about how I'm learning to be alone without feeling lonely. So why being alone starts feeling different in your 30s. Being alone starts feeling like this in your 30s because most likely all your friends are either married, career driven, or either moved away from hometown. Like a lot of your close friends we meet during either in high school or even college. So to know that you probably on this island on your own, right? But you still in touch with them, you can start feeling alone because you're not married, you don't have kids, you don't have family probably nearby. So if you like me who moved up north, right? And I'm from the south and I have no family around me. I'm meeting new people, so I don't have none of my close friends, and on top of that I'm single, so I feel validated in a sense of why I do feel lonely. Now it's up to me to get out that rut of feeling the loneliness, right? But that's a whole process in itself, and I feel like that right there takes time. You know what I'm saying? And you might be feeling the same way. Like, how do you get out of this feeling? You might start going therapy, you might start calling friends and family, or make it an obligation to go out your way to make new friends, right? And that's completely fine because I'm part of Kappa Alpha Psi, right? So if I feel like I need to start socializing, I know I can contact where I'm at and let them know like, hey, I just moved up here. I'm from the south, and they probably start allowing me to meet other people, what I'm saying, hanging with them or going to their events, just the whole brotherhood, because that's what brotherhood is about, right? But that's a whole another segment. So but for you though, you probably want to start joining an organization. You probably want to join if you're not in college, but probably a grad chapter, what I'm saying, or Freemason. Freemason, I believe, joining that. That's a whole brotherhood. If you're a woman, you join a sorority, grad chapter. So it's other ways to get out this route. And why you might be feeling this way, it's completely normal, right? And I want to emphasize that like this is normal to be feeling lonely, especially if you in the instance that I am, right? And you might be in the same instance. Another reason is stop waiting for people to create plans for you. So that could go for your friends. If you guys in a group chat or whatnot, and always talk about linking up or going on vacation, sometimes you just need to, saying go on a solo trip, and you can meet a lot of people on trips. I take solo trips. You get what I'm saying? I take solo trips and I meet new people, and usually with so crazy, it's other people like you. So if you go on a solo trip, let's say like a cruise, it's most likely going to be somebody else on a solo trip. It might be a woman, you might end up getting to know her, and both of y'all on solo trips. They got oh, excuse me. They got cruises for single people. You know what I'm saying? You can plan around those kind of things so you can meet other people. So that way you won't have to wait on nobody to create any kind of plans for you. Be like, oh no, like let's go do this, let's go do that, but they never fall through. Or even going out at a nightclub or a bar or a speakeasy, any of those things. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like once you start waiting for people, you can put yourself out there even more, and you'll be like, oh wait, let me just see what it's like. And you ain't even wait on the you should have the mindset of like, I'm going to this. If you want to go, cool. If not, that's cool too. Cause I'm going regardless of with or without you. I feel like that's the mindset you should have about going out. You get what I'm saying? So take heed of that. You know what I'm saying? Another reason is finding one recurring place where you see the same people. You get what I'm saying? Like if you see the same people over and over again, you most likely will start talking to them. Like for example, if you go to the gym, You probably speak to somebody one week, next week you having small talk, the other week you guys probably in full blown conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like people who at your job. You know what I'm saying? You might get cool with them. Now, I'm not recommending you to like start hanging around people at your job, like especially outside of the job. But if you like work in the area and you go to like a restaurant for lunch or something like that, you probably run into somebody that should be cool. You get what I'm saying? If you live in an apartment, you go down to like the amenities. You get what I'm saying? You see somebody and you probably like, oh snap, like I see you all the time, like what's up, like you probably get to know each other because if they by themselves they probably feeling the same way you feeling, and you guys probably could kick it off and probably slowly start introducing to more and more people. You know what I'm saying? Joining groups. I touched on that, joining groups, but if you go into recurring places and you seeing the same people, that should be like a good indicator of like, hey, like we obviously got some of the same interests. So let's, saying like talk or get to know each other or at least let me see what you want because I feel like that can possibly help, right? Um Another reason is focus on building one genuine connection and not a large circle. So a lot of times people be want to join these big groups and or organizations at times and they'll be like, "Hey, let's all hang out." And you trying to get to know everybody in the group, but if you focus on like one genuine relationship out of a large circle and you get like really close with them and get to know them, and that way you won't have to feel like you got to talk to the whole group to like do something. If you get cool with one person, they most likely got some of the same interests that you have or want to do some of the same stuff that you do, or they might get you out your comfort zone and you probably start feeling comfortable around them. So it's like 50-50. And if you gain one true connection, you guys get cool and then you guys in a group of people, you always got that person to lean on with. You get what I'm saying? Like if everybody trying to do this and that, you can probably look at your friend in a group, be like, nah, we ain't on that. You get what I'm saying? And you won't feel out, you know what I'm saying, outcasted. You know what I'm saying? So just I say like I feel like that's more key than anything. Like a solid two people out of a group, and you guys hanging out, you kicking it, you ain't got you don't feel like you gotta be part of this big repertoire, like all that, and you guys got a genuine relationship, yo, like do that. Instead have like the large circle in the big group chat. Like definitely do that. Another one is create a life you enjoy before companionship arrives. Do not depend on nobody for joy. I think Will Smith said something like that. Like you are the sole creator of your own joy. Like don't depend on no spouse, no girlfriend, no none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to be happy within. Do not depend on nobody. Because what's gonna happen is when that person can't make you happy or that person, not being what you want them to be, then you're gonna be upset instead of looking within. Like you need to make sure you good, make sure everything around you straight, rather than you trying to depend on anybody. Because you need to learn how to be alone in a sense of like going out to eat, taking a trip. Like, yes, it probably cool to like go with a group of friends or a friend, but you need to learn how to have fun on your own. And just having somebody around would just be a plus. Like never ever just depend on somebody for joy. You have to have your own joy, right? You have to have your own joy. Another one is now when solitude has quietly become isolation. Another one is know when solitude has quietly become isolation. Now, be weary of you being alone all the time, right? Because that can slowly start isolating yourself from everybody. And then you'll get to the point where you create like that you don't even want to be around nobody. Like you forgot how to be around people, right? Because you isolate yourself. And that's something that I'm learning too, like being out, uh, you know, getting out my comfort zone and going somewhere. Like that's not the easiest thing sometimes, right? Sometimes, but when you do it, you're gonna feel good. You're gonna feel like yourself again. And sometimes you just gotta be like, all right, I stayed in on the house for the past 3 weekends. This weekend right here, I'm gonna go out. Even if I don't feel like, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna enjoy myself, because me being alone by myself is it's not good. You ain't gonna meet nobody. You're gonna be closed off. And if you got these outfits and you've been working out, like, man, you need to show out. You know what I'm saying? Like, people need to see how you look, especially if you've been working out. Of course, you're doing for your health, but at the same time, especially if you're single too, like, you wanna talk to a woman out there. You feel me? You wanna be like, yo, like, I ain't, show out what you got. So that's all I have on these notes right here. So that's all I have, right? How to be alone without feeling alone. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and let me know how you feel about this. Peace.